WWE legend sends heartfelt message after Hulk Hogan's passing. Shares Vince McMahon's story. We have high hopes for him. Another WWE legend took to his social media accounts and paid tribute to the late Hulk Hogan, who passed away at the age of 71 after suffering a cardiac arrest on Thursday. Ted DiBiase Sr. took to his account on X and sent a heartfelt message to the late WWE legend. While he shared a chat he had with Vince McMahon Sr., father of former WWE boss Vince McMahon, before a match with Hogan at Madison Square Garden about the company's plans for the iconic wrestler, who was starting his career at that time. The wrestling world lost an icon, but Ted DiBiase lost a very good friend. Hulk Hogan was the man. Way back when Vince McMahon Sr. gave the ship over to Vince McMahon Jr., his first big star was Hulk Hogan. The last match I had the first time I went through the New York territory was at MSG against Hulk Hogan. Vince McMahon Sr. came to me and he said, "We have high hopes for him. We'd like for you to really get him over." And I did. Not only was he a good wrestler, he was a great guy and a man of his word. One day we will meet again. I love you and I miss you. Ted DiBiase Sr. said in a video on the match was Hogan's debut at MSG back on December 17, 1979. With the late icon being victorious over Ted DiBiase Sr., wrestling fans around the globe are in shock and mourning today after news broke of the passing of one of the most iconic names in professional wrestling history. Hulk Hogan, the man who defined a generation, created legions of Hulkamaniacs, and helped make WWE a household name, is reportedly gone, and the wrestling world is reeling. But what's even more emotional is the heartfelt message sent by a fellow WWE legend, who not only mourned Hulk Hogan but also shared a never-before-heard story involving Vince McMahon that no one saw coming. As tributes flood social media from fans, wrestlers, and celebrities alike, one message in particular has captured everyone's attention: a raw, emotional statement from none other than Ric Flair, Hogan's longtime friend, rival, and brother in the wrestling brotherhood. Flair posted a photo of him and Hogan from their WCW days with a caption that reads, "Greater than the world has lost a giant, Hulk. You were more than just a superstar, you were the heartbeat of professional wrestling. You gave your body, your soul, and your life to entertain the world. We clashed, we fought, but we always had love. Rest easy, my brother. Heaven just got a main event." But that wasn't all. In an exclusive interview with a wrestling podcast shortly after the news of Hogan's passing broke, Flair shared an emotional behind-the-scenes story involving Vince McMahon, and it has fans tearing up. According to Flair, there was a time when Hulk Hogan almost walked away from WWE entirely. Not because of creative differences, not because of money, but because he felt unappreciated and alone. This moment came in the early 2000s when Hogan returned to WWE for one last run and wasn't sure if he still had it. Flair recalled, "Greater than there was a night backstage at a SmackDown taping. Hulk was sitting in his locker room, quiet. You know Hulk, he's rarely quiet. Vince walked in, sat down next to him, and said, 'Terry, we have high hopes for you. We always did. Don't let the noise get to you.' That moment changed everything." Flair said Hogan broke down in tears, hugged Vince, and decided not only to stay, but to give the fans one more unforgettable run. Fans will remember that shortly after that incident, Hogan went on to have an epic match with The Rock at WrestleMania X8, a match that fans still call one of the greatest moments in WWE history. The story shared by Flair sheds new light on just how much Hogan meant to not just the fans, but to the people backstage. Vince McMahon may have been a ruthless businessman in the eyes of many, but to Hogan, he was a father figure, a mentor, and a believer. Following Ric Flair's emotional statement, other superstars began sharing their own tributes. John Cena, who credits Hogan for inspiring his own wrestling persona, posted, "Without Hulk Hogan, there would be no John Cena. Thank you for paving the path, brother." The Undertaker shared a black and white photo of him and Hogan with the caption, "Greater than legends never die, they just go to a different ring." Triple H, now a top executive in WWE, tweeted, "Greater than a hero, a showman, a legend. Hulk Hogan changed everything. We will honor him the best way we know how, by making sure the world never forgets his impact." But perhaps the most surprising message came from Stephanie McMahon, who rarely speaks publicly since stepping away from her WWE role. She posted a touching message that read, "When I was a little girl, Hogan would lift me on his shoulders and call me his little champ. He was more than just a performer, he was family. We'll never forget you." Behind the scenes sources are reporting that WWE is already planning a massive tribute episode of Monday Night Raw. In honor of Hogan, plans include a special video package, Superstar Reflections, and a 10-bell salute. There are also rumors that WrestleMania 42 will be dedicated to Hogan's memory, with possible induction into the Hall of Fame under a special legacy banner. Even though Hogan was already a two-time inductee, but the impact goes far beyond just the WWE ring. Fans outside WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut have started leaving flowers, signs, and action figures on the gates. One fan wrote, "Greater than you taught us to train, say our prayers and eat our vitamins, rest in power. Hulkster." Another fan created a giant painting of Hogan with angel wings and placed it outside a local arena where Hogan once headlined. It's gone viral on social media with the hashtag #ThanksHogan trending worldwide. Despite all the controversy over the years, Hogan's death has reminded everyone just how massive his cultural impact truly was. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was a symbol of larger-than-life entertainment, loyalty, and charisma. Love him or hate him, Hogan was the guy who made wrestling cool in the 80s and beyond. Back to Ric Flair's story, he added one more emotional detail before signing off. He said, "I'll never forget what Vince said to me that same night Hogan almost quit," he said. "We're all here because he paved the road. If we lose Hogan, we lose the heart of this place," and he was right. Whether it was in red and yellow or black and white, whether he was body slamming Andre or staring down The Rock, Hulk Hogan's legacy will live forever. As WWE prepares to honor their biggest icon, fans are urged to keep the Hulkamania spirit alive. Wear your red and yellow, throw up the brother hand sign, and remember that iconic voice shouting, "Greater than what you gonna do," when Hulkamania runs wild on you. Sadly, Hulkamania has run its last match, but its legacy will run wild. In the heart